A lot has changed over the last 12 months in the social media landscape.
Our topic this week is going to be social media trends 2021. And as Jason mentioned, 2020 was a significant year for change, mostly due to COVID-19, as we all know. And if you're not aware of the shifts in digital, then you could be limited by your marketing performance. So it's important to note these changes or these trends moving forward into 2021 to ensure that you as business owners or you as marketers are getting results for your clients or for yourself. So let's dive into the first one. There's 6 key trends that Jason and I are going to go over today. And the first is probably my favorite. I love this one, is that 55 plus is turning digital. And what that means is people 55 years or older are turning digital. More and more, they're getting on to social media. They're getting online to buy products. So just to give you a few stats here. So 20% of Americans are baby boomers, and 46% of the adult population is 50 plus. 70% bought something online in the past month, and 66% is the increase in discovering new products via social media over the past 4 years. So these numbers are super, super interesting to me, and it just makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, you know, over the course of history and as technology has advanced, certain groups are always slower to adopt those technologies, but over time, they always come. So if you have a product or a business that is catering to an older demographic, get on Facebook. Start running some ads, especially on Facebook, targeting this demographic specifically. And I have a feeling like you're going to get some good results.
Yeah, I think one of the things that made this so prevalent or so important in 2021 is the fact that people have been forced to buy online. People that never trusted the process of purchasing things online in the past now have their hands tied, and now they're beginning to do it. And I'm sure there was that initial phase where they, you know, the 55 pluses that were a little skeptical of purchasing online, made those first few purchases and understood the process is actually pretty seamless, and it's a good process at that. You know? Companies out there need to provide good customer service on delivery and things like that. So I think naturally, people in this demographic, their trust has grown for purchasing online. And you know, I'm just thinking about my mom, for example, my mother. Like she's historically always been, you know, kind of skeptical of purchasing things online, but now it's like you don't really have a choice, and now you kind of have to buy things online now. And I think that attributes to this massive increase with this demographic purchasing things through social media.
100%. And like I said, it was, in my opinion, it was only a matter of time before this group got on social media and started purchasing more online. But yeah, everything was just quickened thanks to COVID-19. So
love it. Okay, let's. I'm going to quicken over to the next social media trend, which is TikTok's rise. So through stats here regarding TikTok, 1 billion videos are watched daily, and 2.2 billion views on its most viewed videos. This is a platform that is absolutely crushing it. And personally, myself, it's probably the platform that's taking up the most amount of my day now is TikTok. And that's not just from a creator standpoint, but actually consuming the content. I think the algorithm is brilliant, works really, really well. And majority of the content that hits my feed, I'm usually not browsing past it. I'm consuming that content because it does such a good job of mattering to me, and it's important to me, and I want to consume that content. So I find it's an amazing platform, and the demographic is not just 10 to 19-year-olds, right? I think that's right. That's the key, right? The demographic you're looking at, 20 to 29-year-olds is 29%, 30 to 39 is 18%, 40 to 49, which is my demo, is 13%, and 50 plus is 7%. 10 to 19 is 32%. It is the majority, but I bet if we look at this 1 year from today, we're going to see that 50 plus demo much higher than 7%. I will guarantee you that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And we've talked about this in the past. And by the way, did you just say you're in the 30 to 39 group, the 16%?
No, I just hit the cusp of the 40 to 49. So
yeah, that's right.
But when they did that, to be fair, when they did this, when they put these numbers out there, I was probably a part of the 30 to 39 demo. So
Probably.
food for thought. There you go.
Definitely. And it's funny because like you might look at these numbers and see, the 50 plus or the 40 to 49 is such a small percentage. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're a business owner or you're a marketer and you're wondering whether or not you should go on TikTok, we're still talking about just over 20% of the platform is that older demographic. So just hyper focus on those people, provide valuable content to them, and it will be worth it. We had someone on our podcast recently who was a lawyer, and people that are interested in his services is probably a very, very small percentage of the population on TikTok, but he's creating relevant content that's focused towards a specific demographic, and he's seeing lots of results from it. So TikTok, I'm not on it. I mean, I'm on it, but I'm not really on it. So I don't love it as much as you, but who knows? Maybe 2021, I'll start getting on the TikTok train.
Yeah, and you don't need to be a creator, right? Like just as a consumer, I find it such a powerful platform, and we recently got approved, our agency, as a TikTok advertiser, so it's something we're going to be diving into in the next month or two, and we'll definitely provide our audience with updates to let you know how it performs. So, David, you want to kick it to number 3?
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's jump into number 3. So number 3 is social commerce. 55% of people bought products through social media in 2020, and 87% claim that social media helped them to make a buying decision. We've talked about this in the past. And I do this myself. I'll go online, I'll go on social media, and I'll research products and services. And then maybe I end up going to the store or going somewhere else to purchase it, but I'm still using digital and social media as a place to do some research to ultimately make that buying decision. 57% are shopping more often since the pandemic, which makes a whole lot of sense. We've heard that quite a bit, that despite the economic downturn and the troubled times we're going through, people are spending the same, if not more, definitely online. So more platforms will be implementing e-commerce. Facebook and Instagram have already done so. If you're a business owner listening to this and you're still slow to adopting digital and working on your website and getting that up to where it needs to be, and you have a product to sell, well, the first place you should start is setting up your Facebook and Instagram shops. At the very least, get those set up. You can start selling your product right through the platforms and work on getting your website to where it needs to be.
We had a podcast guest on yesterday, Lisa from Tally Towels, and she, just to give a bit of a backstory, she runs a company that sells microfiber towels, and predominantly made most of her business by attending trade shows over the past 5-6 years, and obviously the pandemic has forced her to focus more on selling through social media and online, and this is obviously a huge trend for most businesses that weren't relying heavily on social media in the past. They now need to rely on social media, and social media is doing their part. The platforms are doing their part to accommodate those businesses that need them now more than ever. So that's definitely a trend that's going to continue in 2021.
100%.
Cool. Video. Our next one, number 4, video. Yeah. Video is still growing. 4 times people prefer watching YouTube than non-video social platforms. That's crazy. A lot more people are consuming their content through video. One thing I didn't like about YouTube, though, is the fact how they created YouTube Premium. I get it. They want to make more money, but, they're already hammering us with ads, right? So I guess, I guess this is just a way to probably increase user retention, because that's one of the big pain points I have with the platform is the amount of ads that they throw at you, especially when my girls are watching Peppa Pig and then they get an ad, from Ty Lopez.
Oh God.
Trying to sell a course on social media. It's like, my girls hate Ty Lopez more than anything else in the world because it interrupts their viewing of Peppa Pig. But no, it's important. A lot more people are relying on video. 68% watch YouTube to make a purchasing decision. We see it. YouTube ads is growing in popularity as well. For those that don't know, if you want to run YouTube ads, you run them through Google. So it's and the platform, because YouTube is Google, it's just getting stronger and stronger in terms of search engine optimization and being found in search when you search for things on Google. You'll see always, a lot of times you'll see those YouTube videos show up more than anything else. So it's definitely important, if you do have a strategy on YouTube, you do have video content as a business, when you do upload that video content, leverage that description area as much as possible, because that description area can and will be found in a Google search. On this same topic, 84% bought a company's product after seeing one of their videos. 52% prefer informational videos between 3 to 6 minutes, depending on the content and platform. So it doesn't need to be a 20 to 30-minute video. Something short and sweet, 3 to 6 minutes is definitely a good place to be, especially if you are captivating that audience and keeping them, retaining them on that video for 3 to 6 minutes. The YouTube algorithm really prioritizes retention. So if it's just like a talking head video, you're probably not going to see as much traction than if you pack in a ton of value in about 3 minutes. You'll notice that video will get a lot more traction.
Yeah.
Okay. So for that's it for that. I want to get to a couple comments here. We have people are loving video. Yay. Love the power of video. Video is brilliant to build your tribe. So obviously people are all about the video content on social. One thing I want to comment about video, because we run a lot of Facebook ads, long videos on Facebook typically don't work. People don't like their experience disrupted. So even for ourselves, we're seeing 30-second videos is a good piece of content to put onto Facebook. 30-second video will probably not be as strong on YouTube. So longer tailed videos, keep them on YouTube. If you have short video content, keep them on Facebook and Instagram.
It's a great point, Jay, to the length of video, and I think it speaks really well to the next point. Go ahead and share that last point there.
Yeah. So the last point for video was 8 seconds. The average person's attention span, 1 second less than a goldfish.
Oh man, you know what? We've heard this one before. I just want to know, how did they figure out what the attention span of a goldfish was? I'd love to know. But it makes a lot of sense. Our attention spans are short. We don't have them, which actually surprises me why the ideal video is between 3 and 6 minutes. It seems kind of long, considering 8 seconds is the average attention span. Yeah,
but YouTube though, right? So and 8 seconds makes total sense. That's why TikTok's so popular, right? They're 15-second videos, and I think it says the average attention span is 1 second less than a goldfish. If that's the average population, I gotta say your demographic, millennials, is probably a couple seconds shorter than that, and maybe about 5 or 6 seconds, right? And that's only proofs in the pudding, because that's a demographic that loves TikTok.
Oh man, just saying. I can't argue. I cannot argue there.
One last comment. You guys are champs on maximizing the power of video. Thank you so much. That's awesome. We love video content. We love doing stuff like this. And there's a few reasons why we do this week in digital. It's to provide value to you, the audience. This is going to live on Facebook forever. So you can go back and see all of our This Week in Digitals that we've done in the past. But I think one of the benefits of going live like this is when David and me have these conversations, we're learning ourselves from each other. Nothing's planned here. We have an article that we go off of, but we're basically learning ourselves, and you get to learn from us at the same time, which is awesome.
Sure is.
Cool. And last comment here, never want to miss you guys speaking. That's awesome.
These great comments. Thank you all for the comments today. They're great. Keep them coming. We're going to jump into the fifth trend for 2021, and that is the future of VR and AR. Now, this is an area that I'm not super familiar with, nor am I super interested in. I think VR is a potentially cool piece of technology, but what they're saying here is that 65% of the U.S. population are visual learners, and I can 100% agree to that. I am a visual learner myself, so who knows? This VR thing might just take my learning to the next level. 73 billion. This is the projected global market size in 2024 in the VR and AR space. 4 times That is more global searches for virtual reality in the last year. So clearly people are interested in VR and AR, and they're searching for it to see what new technology is out and what's going on in this space. And finally, 3D products. They provide a greater online purchasing experience. I could see that being true. I don't know if this is considered to be a 3D product, but basically really, really cool. Snapchat came out with their filter. It was probably close to a year ago now when we were in the lockdown, where you could try on a pair of shoes virtually through one of their lenses through Foot Locker, because we couldn't go out and we couldn't shop. So that is just another way in which this whole space is evolving and really going to take things to the next level from a social media, from a consumer behavior and just purchasing products standpoint.
I remember I attended the Facebook F8 Summit back in 2018. And one of the big talking points from Zucks was the future of Facebook and where Facebook's going to potentially be in 10, 20 years time, right? And they spoke a lot about VR being an integral part to the future of Facebook. And they gave an example at the summit talking about how they envision people having conversations, much like we'd be having a conversation right now. We'd have our VR headsets on sitting in our bedrooms or in our offices, but we would have the ability to select anywhere in the world to have this conversation. So we could essentially be sitting outside of a cafe in Paris with the Eiffel Tower sitting there. And as you're sitting there with your VR headset, you can see people walking around you. You're sitting in a cafe. You could be sitting in your bedroom drinking a coffee, but you feel and you sense that you're in actual Paris having this conversation. And that's where they kind of visualize where Facebook is eventually going to go.
Interesting. That is super interesting. I think that would be so cool to be able to do. But my question for you is this: do we think that will supplement just overall travel in the future? Like, do you think that some people will just stop traveling and never travel again, and instead just put on their virtual headset and go to wherever they want to go, and that will be enough? Like, for you, you're a big travel person. Could you stand not going on another trip physically, or just like, you know?
I can see it being a point of contention for a lot of relationships out there, because for me, it's like, I want to travel. I want to physically experience what I'm doing. I want to physically shake hands with people and meet them face to face and have physical experiences together. And that's something that we are losing with the times right now. We're not being able to do that right now. And VR, I do not believe, is going to be able to substitute that to the level that we would experience by having those physical trips. So, but I could see a lot of relationships out there where the wife is like, hey, hang on a second. Why don't you just do it from your office? Why do you need to go all the way to Prague to have this meeting? But I mean, I don't foresee VR replacing physical travel in the future. Maybe my kids' future, but not my future.
Me neither. I think this is a really cool piece of technology, but I still think it will supplement much of what we do. We'll still go on trips. We'll still go and do things like we normally do, but maybe as an escape on a day-to-day basis, instead of watching TV, we'll throw on our VR headset and we'll go for a snorkel in the sea.
Yeah, exactly. Love it. Snorkel in the sea. All right, last one here. Let's hammer it real quick. We got social conversation. So 32% of people use social media for finding funny or entertaining content. 68% don't think companies share interesting content. That's interesting. Don't think companies share interesting content. 32% of Americans are more likely to buy more from optimistic and comforting ads. So, you know, people, especially now, more now than ever with the pandemic, people are spending more time on their phones, and it's the expectation for their need for communication now. You know, for that, you can't have the physical conversations in person. You can't go to the cafe to talk. You can't go to your barber and have a conversation with your barber. You can't go to the bar. People are doing that stuff online. So they're expecting a higher level of conversation to come from a lot of brands out there. People do not want to be sold to, because, I mean, that's really what it is. It's like when you see an ad in your news feed, I think for a lot of people, it's like, hang on a sec. It's like, imagine going up to somebody randomly at a bar and pitching them your product. You're not going to do that. That's the way it's starting to feel like on social media when you send a cold ad to a cold audience. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, I think it's interesting. vanilla, too much vanilla out there. That, you know, and I think that speaks to why there's so many people aren't interested in companies' content, because it's too vanilla. They're trying to speak to everybody, and it feels like a sales pitch. And then your last point there is also interesting to me, that more people are buying from optimistic and comforting ads, and I think that comforting part really speaks to also the products that we're buying as well. We're at home. We want to be more comfortable. We want to do things in our home, and so those are the products that we're looking for.
I think also because the whole fear monging type of approach to ads is not going to be as effective now, because I think fear monging as a whole is really watered down. There's so much negativity out there that people just want comforting. They want to hear comfort. They want to hear optimism. They want positivity. They don't want negativity. So as a brand coming out there trying to pinpoint a pain point, it's not as effective as it used to be.
No, it isn't. And I mean, algorithms like Facebook, they pick up on it, and you'll probably get rejected right away, if not soon after those ads go live. And on top of that, like, there's really nothing to be scared of anymore. Don't you feel like you've just gone through everything and now you can handle anything? No fear. So.
True.